Okay, so we're back on here, second, third, if this Trinidad fundadores. Draw is awesome. I mean, when you get one of these with just an awesome draw, like the one I'm smoking right now, it is badass. Flavors have become more coffee, more toasty, toffee. Very sweet smoke here. I mean, this is delicious here, I have to say. Smooth through the nose, floral through the nose, but coffee-ish, you know, in the mouth. It's just right on the palate. So, Trinidad is a great cigar. I mean, I got a lot of I got 3 boxes of Trinidads. I got the Trinidad Reyes, Trinidad Colonialis, and the fundadores. And each box is, I'm gonna age them. I mean, I'll smoke one here and there, and I'll pull one out of the box, throw it in my humidor, let it marinate in there for a couple days, and smoke one once in a while. But over the long haul, I mean, each box has 24 cigars, so if I smoke a few a year, then, you know, I'll probably get 15 years on them. So I'm going to be aging these guys, and Trinidads are awesome cigars to age. They do get a little bit rough in the first year. You know, when they're young, sometimes they can be pretty harsh in the final third, or you get a lot of grass, you get a lot of green notes, you know, that dominate the cigar throughout. It becomes very vegetal, very oily, younger Trinidads. So when you age them, though, they just get better and better and better with time. So this one is almost 1.5 years old, and it's very good. So after a couple more years, it's just going to become even more flavorful. You know, the fruit notes, the toffee, the coffee, everything that I've tasted in this cigar so far is just going to become more enhanced as time goes on, as the years move on. So aging Trinidads is a great idea. Now, the Trinidad cigar brand is a very mysterious and unconfirmed story, so we don't know, nobody knows the real history of Trinidad. But I will say this: in the Cohiba Lancero review, I told a little bit about the story of Cohiba. Eduardo Rivera, you know, he hooks up with Fidel Castro, rolling Cohiba private Lancero cigars just for Fidel Castro and Fidel Castro's inner circle. Eventually, Cohiba was a government cigar only. It wasn't for the public. It wasn't a standard production cigar at all. It was just intended for the government, and then it became a diplomatic gift. So in the late 60s and early 70s, Cohibas were Cuba's diplomatic gift. Zeno Davidoff comes in and wants to buy it. You know, it gets a little hairy. Suddenly, Zeno Davidoff, he's producing, you know, Davidoff cigars from the same factory, you know, same Vitola, everything, and selling them. Standard production lines for the public. Eduardo Rivera quits. Here comes Avelino Lara. Avelino Lara takes over the Laguito factory and the Cohiba brand. And he develops that third barrel fermentation, okay, for Cohiba. A couple years later, Cohiba goes public. They start selling Cohiba. So suddenly Cuba doesn't have a cigar for Fidel Castro anymore. Cuba doesn't have diplomatic gifts. Diplomatic gift cigar. So in comes Trinidad. Trinidad was a secret project. Nobody knew about it outside of Cuba and specialty diplomats that received these Trinidads as diplomatic gifts, because Trinidad became what Cohiba was before Zeno Davidoff basically took over Cohiba, or took the Cohiba blend or whatever. So it's very interesting. Trinidad comes into creation after Cohiba changed, okay? And nobody knew about Trinidad. It was sort of a mystery. You know, and that goes back to an interview with Avelino Lara with Cigar Aficionado back in the 90s or something. Avelino Lara states that, you know, they're asking him, you know, how do you make Cohiba? Cohiba's the best cigar, and da-da-da. And he says, no. I mean, this is the manager of, he oversees Cohiba blend. He created the blend, right? That's what everybody says. I mean, he actually didn't. Eduardo Rivera created Cohiba blend, but then Avelino Lara created the, you know, the blend that we're smoking now of Cohiba with the triple barrel fermentation. So Avelino Lara then says to Cigar Aficionado, Trinidad is the best cigar. Trinidad is the better blend. Trinidad is what Fidel Castro smokes, not Cohiba. You know, everybody was all fucked up, all confused. What is this guy talking about? We've never even heard of Trinidad. A couple of years later, they interview Fidel Castro. They ask him about it. He says that he refutes everything that Avelino Lara says. He says, no, I've never even heard of Trinidad. It sounds to me like Trinidad was, you know, Fidel's cigar, for real. And that there were diplomatic gifts from Cuba to other governments. They were and still are awesome blends. And they might be the, my ash just fell off, the original blend from Eduardo Rivera. So, take that for what it's worth. But, I mean, some manager says that Trinidad's are the superior blend to Cohibas. And Cohiba is the best cigar in the world, the one that sells the most. Everybody loves, everybody knows Cohiba. Even non-cigar smokers, they know Cohiba, you know. The most highly sought after cigar in the world is Cohiba from Cuba. The most highly counterfeited cigar in the world is Cohiba. The most expensive cigar in the world is Cohiba. And this guy says that Trinidad's are the better blend. from my humble opinion, from my experience, from this cigar here, they are the better blend. They are more, Trinidad's got more body, more complexity, a little bit more nicotine, stronger. You know, they're not as smooth as Cohibas. If you like smoothness, you know, Cohiba's the cigar for you. If you don't want to wait for your cigars to age, Cohiba's the cigar for you. If you don't mind waiting and you want to get a really bomb-ass smoke, Trinidad is a cigar for you. Okay? So, Trinidad's are badass. I mean, really, really, this is really delicious here. I mean, I'm loving this cigar. It's awesome. Grassy, hay, but sweet with it's a woody undertone. I get sweetness of toffee, coffee. I mean, it's very complex, a lot of flavors. The flavors are gonna, you know, they're gonna stick around, you know, they're gonna, some, you know, it's really, really complex, so. And man, it's pretty damn smooth. So if you like complex and smooth and sweet cigars, I recommend this guy here, Trinidad fundadores. I'll get into the final third and come back.